Show us some moves. Show us some moves. Dance, dance. All right. So give us your best Martha Stewart impression. You know, Vanna White. Vanna White? You don't know Vanna White? She's Wheel of Fortune. There we go. Vanna White. The other Vanna White. All right, Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield. It goes like this. Look, it goes just like this. Ah!
Is that the one that got Tyson?
Yeah. Welcome back to Ask an Artist, your favorite, absolute favorite internet TV show all about the life and lives of artists. I'm your host, Hayze, and today we have a special, absolute special, beautiful as well, guest with us today. That's the Agent 42, as more affectionately known as Steph. And welcome.
Thank you. This better be your favorite show.
Absolutely. So, as usual, what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick question and answer. You know, I see you peeking. We're going to do some questions, some answers. We're going to talk about what the life and the lives of being a creative is, how we make money, how we do the fun stuff. And, well, the first thing I like to ask is the most important question. Why art, Steph?
It was the first thing that I ever started doing as far as I can remember. I was just like, that's a pencil, that's a piece of paper, all right. That's the first thing I'm gonna do today.
Okay. So you say you started when you were little. About what age did you start painting, drawing, becoming the extraordinaire that you are today?
Like focusing on it more seriously? I think my parents always tried to challenge me a little bit. Like, since I was a toddler, like making a squiggle on a page and saying, okay, turn that into something.
That's a heck of a game.
Eventually through elementary school, middle school, projects, little arts and crafts stuff, you slowly build up that passion for it and start realizing you want to actually do something else with it than just hobby.
You started as a hobbyist. Would you consider yourself a hobbyist today? Where are you right now in your art journey?
I would say a little bit of both. I'd like to keep some of it at least, like still a hobby, so I don't, become jaded. When something you love just turns into work, every day you just start losing that passion for it, and I don't want that. So I do try to keep some of it personal, some of it is for myself, but so much of it right now is just commissions and practicing and an apprenticeship to tattoo apprenticeship.
Oh,
so
wow.
Hopefully that ends up, stemming into a career that's, still art, but it's not, the art I do for myself.
Got you. So
that one's for others.
Wow. So you said a lot of things there. I think that's pretty important. It kind of touches on the idea that you have to have a lot of different streams, a lot of different methods to make money if you're going to be an artist, especially full time. But you also want to keep it personal, right? Yeah. And I think that's really important because, tell me if I'm right or wrong, right? But when you're an artist, a lot of the times it feels like you're just bearing your soul, opening it up naked for everybody to see. And then if they don't like it, oh my God.
A lot of it has to do with feeling.
Yeah.
You gotta feel your way. And even if you're making something up, you have to feel, what would this look like if this were this? And you have to think a lot. So, I mean, it is about being like very vulnerable, about being very transparent in your work. Whether if they don't understand it, then they don't really see those parts that you might be scared of anyway. Maybe you're the only one who really understands what's so vulnerable about it.
Okay.
And if it does connect with somebody, that's a good thing. Then now you've connected with somebody indirectly.
Wow. No, really, I think that's pretty amazing. Honestly, you also brought up that you're working on a tattoo apprenticeship. Yes. And that's like two different things, right? Mm-hmm. So right now, what are you learning in your tattoo apprenticeship that is actually helping you in your art career to move forward? What do you think?
So the building of it, the making of something that's going to form to all the different sizes and shapes that is the human canvas. I forget the word
Mm-hmm.
for it. I'm sure you know the composition.
Yes, yes.
Composition. There's a lot of composition. You can't just, I mean, you could, but you can't really just make something that you think is going to be great and have it, not fit very well on that person's body. You have to think about the canvas that you're using.
Mm-hmm.
And as well as like different skin tones, just different tone of canvas, what color's going to work with what color and, undertones and color theory. And it brings out a lot more that I haven't thought about it in a while.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot. I mean, I think it's pretty interesting because when I started my career, right, I was painting on like t-shirts, right? And so t-shirts are something that go on that body. And of course, when you're painting, you're working, you got to get stuff on the body, right? But I found that the same thing occurs with the medium or the material that you're actually working on. So in your case, it actually is the body. In my case, it was clothing. But it's kind of like how, different surfaces, right? They respond differently to the medium that you're working on.
Like a different technique.
Yeah, and you got to be aware of that, right?
Mm-hmm. Like that corrugated, that shipping container.
Oh yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Sometimes, like, okay, this looks nice up close. This looks nice up close, but how about from afar? Oh, that's not true.
Yeah. So, talking about surfaces in that case, what then would be, I guess, your favorite surface to work on? And do you think that artists have a responsibility to learn to work on multiples, or should they only stay in one space? Like, I only want a tattoo, or I only want to work on canvas. What do you think?
I think that part of it can remain like pretty personal. You don't ever want to you can try to push your boundaries, but if it's that uncomfortable that you don't even want to do it anymore, then you're already taking the passion out of what you're doing. However, I personally, I like trying a lot of different new things. Knowing me, you would know that I've tried so many.
Oh, I know.
I enjoy that. But some people, they find their niche, they find what they're comfortable in. And if that, works for you, especially, you see artists that have all kinds of different backgrounds, but the second they found their niche, they rolled with it, and it worked for them.
Yeah.
And they took off.
Okay.
So it's up to the artist.
I think that that's a really great place to kind of discuss something that I think is really important to me in my art. So I'm going to go ahead and hit you with 2 questions back to back, okay? Number 1, how important is adaptation to your experience as an artist? I personally believe that adaptation is the highest form of intelligence. And since we're artists, we're pretty smart people. How important is adaptation in your practice? And then number 2, okay, darn, I forgot the question. Let's just stick with the how important is adaptation to go.
I was going to say, I'm going to lose my I was going to say very important. For example, again, the spray painting we were doing. If it rains, you got to learn how to work with that. Work as much as you can within that window. Maybe it'll just sprinkle. And if it's drizzling too much and you can't get the paint up there, you better find some other way to be productive. Get your stencils ready, get your colors ready, get your designs ready. Do something, just adapt to the situation. And then, it stops raining, you get a little break, you go right back to the wall.
So this is specifically, you're talking about mural work then, right?
I mean, I think adapting is important in general.
Yeah.
I like it for anything. That was just an example, a good example. As far as anything else, I'm sure I haven't actually tattooed a real person yet. So. Oh
no! You hear that? I'm gonna be the first one.
I need a guinea pig for sure. A guinea pig that's been
anyone. Oh, pick me! Oh, I know, me.
Me has also been not showing up on the days that I'm there.
Oh no.
But one of these days I'll start.
I was having another conversation with another one of my art friends, right? And he told me, I thought it was an amazing, not question, more of a statement. He says, I think that artists are just like their mediums. And, it's all about flow and moving stuff and make sure that you can adapt, right? Exactly, them colors. I thought to myself, I'm very much like that too, right? I can identify with paint in that you can't really make a mistake. You can do something different, but you got to be able to roll with the punches. And I think that's very much my own personality, whereas he's kind of rigid and, very hard to move. So what about you? What do you think, how do you and your mediums kind of match up personality-wise?
I was gonna say I'm already trying to think about that really hard because again I've tried so many different mediums,
Mm-hmm.
and I regularly am practicing different mediums. Like I have sketches going, I have paintings going. I was spray painting for a while.
Uh-huh.
So dang, I don't know.
So you're a little bit all over the place, just like your mediums.
Probably.
Versatility.
That would make sense.
Yeah, yeah. That's pretty cool.
Seems accurate.
A couple other questions I wanted to ask you. Do you, as an artist, honestly, believe in talent? And if so, what is it?
To a degree, and it's not really. I wouldn't even say it's the talent of doing the art itself. It's the talent of knowing how to view, and then what's the word I'm looking for? Have the agency to then practice it in a way that matches what you see. Like that's different. It is a different kind of like
Nasty.
I love what you just said.
Like, I don't think it's the talent of I can just paint because I can paint. I think it's you see things a certain way and then you're able to apply it a certain way.
You know, I think that's amazing. Personally, I like to think that, yes, there is talent for artists, and that's all to a varying degree, but exactly like you said, it's not the natural ability to actually paint, right? Or to draw or anything.
I really don't.
Yeah, well, you have to be able to, that's another question, but you have to be able to make bad art, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that what you just brought up was really, really important. And that is that the talent is not really the ability to draw or paint or something of that nature, right? It's the ability to see it and have a desire to come back to it and do it again and again and again. Now, I may naturally draw better than you, or you may naturally blend better than me. I mean, and it's actually real. You are an incredible blender. And not to say that I draw better, but you know.
It's just applying a matter of perspective. Like I remember when I explained to someone, like you could see a long, long fence. They're like, okay, well, how do you draw it from, you're looking at it this way? I'm like, you make a short line. It's a matter of perspective.
Adaptation.
Yeah.
You know, so in that case, sounds like you've got a lot of advice about how to kind of look at artwork and how to kind of approach it, because you do have experience, you do have talent. Let me ask you, is there a piece of advice that you were given by someone, just that art advice that changed your life or changed how you view what you do?
You have to give me a minute to think about that one. That's hard. I don't have anything that immediately comes to mind.
No pressure.
Blank.
Blank. Well, I can tell you what it was for me.
Okay.
It was,
Like,
as it is for most things, it's don't be so hard on yourself. Okay. You know, a lot of the times we have this desire for everything to be so perfect, for everything to be just right. And what we miss is that the beauty in imperfection, right? I think Bob Ross said it great when he used to talk about happy little accidents, right?
Yeah, there's no mistakes.
No mistakes. No mistakes. I think that, yeah, like I said, the most important part of actually being an artist is just being able to not be so hard on yourself. Give yourself the freedom to make mistakes and make bad art, because you need that space. Art is kind of like being able to sit in a room, a dark room, right? And be comfortable with what's in that dark room. And as you get comfortable, start to recreate lines and just lighten up the room with something new, you know, a new type of alchemy, right? And I think that it's really important to be able to do that. So if you're just trying to make sure that everything is perfect and that you don't make any mistakes, then you don't have that opportunity to find the exploration that is, you know,
the good thing with art is that, like, if you see a mistake, it's really not a mistake to you. If you said this is complete, they believe you. You're the artist. Like, you're the artist.
That is, see, that's your best advice, right? Say that again. Say that. The art advice that changed your life is what?
You, the artist. It's your work is complete when you say it is.
Absolutely, absolutely. We got two more questions, okay? How important is it to create bad art for you? Like, is everything that you make absolutely perfect?
No, absolutely not. And I think it's I think that's actually like another piece of advice I've heard that's like not art related, but like life in general, is just like fail on purpose. Like get those failures out of the way, and with every failure you learn. You learn a lesson every time, and you get closer and closer to the end goal, whether you know it or not.
Yeah.
You know,
It's funny. I heard something recently that said that success is not the ability to just plan and execute perfectly, right? Success is the ability to fail and then to not give up after you failed, right?
You just have the agency to keep going.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. I didn't think that so many people, even artists, knew all about that. Huh?
And even with art, if you're struggling with where it's at and you don't like it, just keep going.
Just keep going. Just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming,
So I think this is pretty important. A lot of the times as front-facing people, right? Artists, public figures, whoever, right? We find it that people don't really realize the work that you're doing. It's kind of like the iceberg theory. 80% of the iceberg is actually underwater, whereas 20% is above, right? So tell me about your experience. I think that a lot of people don't know the lonely days as opposed to just those lovely, beautiful days that you're out. How do you get through those? And then also, how does that impact your artwork?
At least with my artwork specifically, I can tell you that I feel like most of my artwork stems from the lonely days, because the lonely days force you to like sit and stay in your head. And even if you want to get out of your head so bad, the more you're in there and the more you're just sitting with all these thoughts, like for me, I'm very visual. I just get a lot of images in my head. So the more I feel, again, it's a very sensitive type of practice. You have to be able to feel something or make someone feel something. Whether you even meant to, it's going to make someone feel a type of way.
Yeah.
So just sitting there with my feelings, I get these visuals, and from those visuals, I'll create something. And it may not even have anything to do with what I was feeling, but it exists now.
It's there now. It's on the page.
It says, "You can't be sad today because I'm coming out."
There's another big word that we deal with that's really tough, right? I think it's probably harder than loneliness. And that is only 2 letters. Can you guess what it is? No. So that being said,
What's that?
no, you don't hear it very much. Damn! So how do you deal with rejection? And do you practice anything to kind of get through it?
Yeah, going right back to the acceptance of failure as part of the journey onto, the next part of your path. That path didn't work out. I'm gonna go down this path and see what's going on over there.
The road less traveled.
Yeah, let's go.
She's a runner. She's a track star. Running.
Why are you running?
Why are you running?
So that being said, we've done a lot of talking right now. I've enjoyed every one of your answers. Okay. Do you have anything you want to share with our guests here by chance? Anything about you? Anything that you're doing? Any upcoming projects?
Well, once I do get my first guinea pig for tattooing, you could meet me at Addictive Ink in Pompano doing apprentice pricing tattoos. Simple tattoos to start, and we'll see where we go from there.
Simple tattoos. It's pretty important. All right.
Complicated stuff that I really want to do.
Yeah.
Just
okay.
Shout out to them. I love them.
As long as you can put up with the pain. So that being said, we do like to go ahead and have a great conversation here, but I thought you might want to get to working. So we got a challenge today. Okay, so now we're going to do our challenge. Have you ever tie-dyed before? No.
No.
Who hasn't tie-dyed?
You're like, you do all these things, but you never tie-dye.
Exactly. You said you were a
never
tattoo artist. You said you were sketching. You said you was out here doing all kinds of things in the streets, except OnlyFans, of course. And somehow, she's never tie-dyed. Ah! All right, so you want to take the stickers
I am
off.
just an extra large child.
All right. And I got a couple other things with us here today. We got some fabric spray. Okay. Different colors, blue, purple, whatever you want, Roy G. Biv, right? And we got some stencils. All right. And you can use the stencil to put something on the shirt beforehand. Probably have to do that off camera. And then we can come back and do our ties. How about that?
Okay.
All right. What we're going to do in this case is I'm going to challenge you, Steph, to who can create the nicest, coolest design, and we'll let you guys vote on it at the end. What do you think?
But you've tie-dyed before.
Please, sir, I want some more.
Excuse me. Only once. Don't be soft, Steph. Let's get to it.
Level player.
Ay, coño.
Stop it. Get some help.
All right, so we've got our contenders ready. You know, I think she's winning so far, but it'll come out in the wash. That's it. We're done for the next 6 to 8 hours.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
I'll be working.
Don't worry. We'll show you what is coming up next. It's gonna feel like it was just yesterday.
Editing.
Editing. All right, so cheers. We did that. Tune in later and you will be able to actually vote and see which shirt you thought was better. I'm sure it's going to be hers, but hey, you know, give me some love. I'm the host, you know what I'm saying? All right, so last couple questions. Just wanted to kind of go over some things with you. I think that a lot of artists, I mean, not just artists, creators, people in general, they deal with this feeling of anxiety around if they're really doing it. And I think they call it imposter syndrome, right? So have you ever felt this? And do you think it's normal?
I feel like I feel it every day.
Oh.
I'm not even a person. I don't even want to be perceived half the time. But you kind of gotta. That's why other people are around. And we're social animals. I'm reminded every day that I do definitely exist. Just the same way that I can be reminded every day by others that I am creating something. It does have an effect on them, and they do recognize that. So do you ever really truly grow out of it? Maybe not. If you've ever practiced any kind of creation of anything, like you are some kind of artist. If you made something intentionally to be something else, you are an artist.
That's a good one. All right, so that being said, it's a lot of things that a lot of artists struggle with, I think, especially myself early on. tell you a story. When I first started painting or drawing or just anything, I hated the way it looked, right? You ever experienced that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I absolutely hated what came out. I can see what I wanted to paint. I just wanted it so bad. And for some reason, I did not have the tools to do it. Exactly. Right? So I think a lot of artists struggle with this idea of finding a style, right? What is my style? Or in my case, I hate my style, so I gotta pick up other skills to have something else, right? So
I'm in there too. Where like what comes naturally to you just doesn't feel like what you want to make.
yeah.
But you know.
So then, what do
challenge
you
yourself.
think? Yeah. So what do you think is the best way to create a style? And do you think that every artist has a style?
I feel like most do. Going back to certain artists that do have their niche that they found, you know, they've practiced all kinds of different things, but that's something you can do is even if, you know, if you haven't found your niche yet, if you haven't found that thing that you enjoy making the most, because it still has to be enjoyable. It can't just be, this is my style because it works. Like, no, you have to appreciate it for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
If you find that you consistently start liking something you're making and you keep going down that road, you find that niche, cool. But you do have to challenge yourself and kind of branch out a little bit in order to get to that point. You do have to, it's not always going to be easy.
Mm. So that's really good. I mean, that really makes me think about another question here. And we don't have but so much time, but that being said, I guess I'll ask you this last question here because you really wrapped that up. I find that when I'm working with clients, right, new clients or something of that nature, I feel like that really makes me stretch what I'm doing, right? I found that a lot that clients will come to me for one specific type of thing, and then they'll come to me for something else, or then they'll ask me, "Can you just do this?" Mm-hmm. Right? I guess what my question for you is do you find it helpful working with clients, and how do you see that stretching you as an artist? Does it make you better? Does it make you worse? How do you feel about that?
It offers a different view as far as what they expect out of you because they've seen your work, you know, what they think you can do. And it's up to you really, I guess, to challenge yourself and say, like, can I really do it? Maybe I haven't before, but I can try. That's something I say a lot, actually. Working with you, and you're like, have you ever done this? I was like, no, but I can try.
I can try.
And I did it.
Yeah, for sure. I find myself that it actually really I pride myself on versatility, right? Mm-hmm. But I find that it makes me do things that I wouldn't otherwise do.
Right.
It makes me feel like, oh, that is another direction I can chase. And of course, once I've done it, like you said, I've put it in my pocket. It's something that I have. And I think that more than just the actual creative process, the most creative that we can be is really working sometimes with a limited palette, right? Mm-hmm. Because if you have everything you need, mm-hmm. then
and they do kind of limit you a little bit in what they want, which is sometimes frustrating as an artist because we want to do everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it can be good. It can be very grounding, I think, in that sense, to be like, okay, this is what they want. The challenge is to do what they want.
Do it or don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you very much, Steph, for 42. Steph, you know, the Agent 42 on Instagram and on all other platforms. I want to thank you so much for joining us today on this segment of Ask an Artist. We really appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. Like I always tell you, I'm just happy to be here.
All right. And as always, what do you want? Is there anything you'd like to let the audience know before we go?
Don't be too hard on yourself. Just keep creating. If you don't like it, no one even needs to see it. Just keep trying until you like it. You will eventually if you keep trying.
Message!
Truer words were never spoken. So until next time, always remember, be bold, be creative, be you.
Support the arts!
Back it up. Back it up.
Show that. Told you she was gonna shuffle. You don't even got no music. It's in the brain, baby. It's in the brain. Love it. All right, so we've made it outside. Welcome, we outside.
Oh, you got a little.
Well,
something.
you don't understand. I danced ballet for years.
Okay.
All right, so we're here with our challenge. Today, we're going to be doing something really fun, really cool. And if you're an artist or a kid of an artist, then you know it as the Squiggle Game. Head banging. So, as you already know, the object of the Squiggle Game for everybody who's watching is I'm going to put down some really weird, funky, crazy squiggle, okay? And M is going to come in here and turn it into something, well, artistic. And vice versa, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to paint on this one so that she's going to paint right here, and she's going to paint one for me right over there. Sound good?
Let's do it.
All right.
That wasn't my squiggle.
Oh, okay. I won't hold you to it. Outline's done.
Oh yeah. Okay, wait.
I told you none of my stuff fits on the outside of the canvas.
What did he say?
You're gonna vote for, whose is the best. But show me some love, because I'm the host, right? I get a bit of this. The ghosts.
Oh my God. They have names?
Yeah, they got names. So yeah,
Yes, totally. 100%.
that's it. And let's get back to the questions. Welcome back to Ask an Artist, your favorite art question and answer podcast on the internet. I'm your host, Hayze, and today we are on site at Wynwood Art Walk. You can check it out right there. Follow them on Instagram. Right on site, and we have our illustrious shuffle dancing weirdo of a guest today, the lovely.
That's me.
All right.
Here I am.
So thank you so much for coming and joining us today.
Thanks for coming and joining me here. I'm on the clock right now.
All right. So as always, I love to start these shows with one question. It's really important because we're artists, aren't we?
For sure.
All right. So that being said, Em, why art?
Why art? That is a solid first question. Not to sound like cheesy, but why not art? You know what I mean?
Why not?
But yeah, for me, it was always something artistic. I was never a sporty kid growing up. I was horrible at I played soccer for like 1 year growing up. My dad coached the team.
Oh, okay.
I begged him not to finish the season. I wanted to quit so bad. So, never a sporty kid, never really had much interest in anything until I found theater in middle school. So that was the thing that was blew my little brain up.
So that was the art for a really long time.
Awesome. So if you don't know, you won't know. But all this really cool, weird stuff behind us, that's, you know.
And I feel like when you grow up around creative parents, you can't help but be into it. Like people always remember like the first time painting or something, and I don't. Like it was so a part of my life that it wasn't even significant at the time. Like painting wasn't, because it was just, I thought everybody looked like this, you know, when you're little.
You know, that's also funny because I used to come downstairs, I would see her paint in the middle of the night.
Quiet on the set, please. Quiet on the set. Quiet on the set, please.
Draw and, you know, use oil pastels every single night. And I'm going to stop right now again because I don't want to get this story mixed up.
I'm gonna kill myself!
So, let's back to the questions. All right, so what are your specific inspirations as an artist, though? Do you have, like, art parents? And would that mean, like, be your mom, or would that be, like, you know, some other artists that you've met? Because art parents aren't specifically, you know, somebody who you are directly related to, but someone who can really influence you down a direction. That being said again, do you have those influences, and who are they?
Yeah, totally. First of all, being in Wynwood, I meet awesome artists every day that I'm inspired by. Huge one is Sarah Milano, who also works here with me. She is like the queen of hustle and like sales and like just like kind of doing whatever you want, and there doesn't have to be rules. She showed me a lot about like just great, like you can do it, you can actually just do anything. Like she has very much served as like a source of permission for me in a way, which is cool. And so she's a big one for me. I feel like she's my art mom a little bit.
Gotcha.
And then other ones, there's this girl, West Coast Cassie.
Okay.
I think it's Cassie or Casey. I only know her virtually, so but her work is super like fun and funky and playful and colorful and like that's a big one too. There are a million others that I've taken little pieces from. There's also this girl out of Boston who's this really cool acrylic painter. Sorry is her name, and her like Instagram tag is not sorry art. It's very cute.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. So she's really awesome.
Okay, so you got to find a number of different ways to grow as an artist. You can't just depend on trying to sell individual pictures or trying to get murals or you got to do a number of different things. So that really brings me to my next question, which is, how important is it for you to have a number of different methods to make money?
Oh my God, it's everything. Because if you're making money from the same thing all the time, I don't care who you are or what you do. If you're an entrepreneur or an entrepreneur of any kind, you're gonna get so sick of doing the one thing, and you're gonna hate it, and you're gonna resent it, and you're gonna stop. Yeah, I just feel like you have to diversify things just enough to keep yourself interested. Even if one thing is like your main gig that you do, like my main gig is teaching spray paint classes. So it's my main like day-to-day thing. I'm here, I'm in the shop, I'm getting tours off, you know, like, and I'm teaching classes. But I have to do my own painting just for me that feels good. I can't just do commissions. I would blow my brains out.
Hell no, to the no. Yeah.
So, that being said, this question gets asked to me a lot. I personally get a little frustrated about it, but it's based on talent. Okay, so talent. Do you need it?
A little.
A little? Okay, and what is the talent that you need?
I don't know. That's a tricky question. I'm like getting tongue-tied here. Let me think for a minute. So I'm basically trying to think about how do I say this without sounding like an asshole.
Oh, be an asshole, baby. That's all. Do what you gotta do.
So you can do it. Yes. I think you need talent. I think you need talent in something. I think you don't need a lot of talent. I think you need a little bit. The biggest talent you need is to be just relentless and determined and like see the vision. Like I think having vision is a little bit of a talent too.
Absolutely.
But like, again, I come from the theater world. I couldn't sing. I was never going to be a Broadway girl.
Yeah.
I took voice lessons. I trained. I could have learned to be pretty good, but I was never going to be at the certain level of like, you know, the natural like belters who are the ingenues. I was never that. There's so many ways that you can do what you want to do, but you have to find the parts of what you want to do that you are talented at so you can hold on to that while you learn all the other shit that's really uncomfortable and hard.
Got you.
Right?
You need grit. You gotta keep doing things that matter, and you gotta be willing to put your foot in front of each other every single day.
Yeah.
What I find so, I hate to say this, but actually insulting is when people say to me, "Oh, you're so talented."
Yeah,
right?
I get
because that doesn't imply that I have had to work.
Wait. Before we move on, can I give you an answer?
Please.
To give people when they say you're so talented, because I also hate that compliment.
Okay.
Whenever someone's like, because I get this all the time when I teach my classes, because I'm teaching beginners to spray paint. And I'll do something, I'll throw up a letter or something, and it looks pretty cool, you know? And then they try, and theirs looks nothing like it, right? And they go, "Oh, well, you're so talented." And I say, it's all just practice.
That is true.
So that's my favorite way to like swap that compliment while also like kind of taking it, you know, because I hate when people are like, "Oh no, like I'm not, like it's not talent," you know? I never want to swap the compliment. You want to accept the compliment with grace, right?
That being said, as artists, we all create our own individual audiences. How important then is it to be accepted by your audience? And do you care?
No, I don't care. I don't give a shit.
Oh!
I'm just picturing like an "I don't give a shit," like the more you know graphic, but it's "I don't give a shit."
I don't give a shit.
No, I don't give a shit who's in my audience, because the people who are gonna want to be here are gonna want to be here. So it's as simple as that.
So, you know, I think Rick Rubin said that really well. He said, as an artist, right, you have to care about the audience last. Okay?
Message.
How do you define success?
Success for me for a very long time was being a full-time artist and having like that title. Like, I'm not bartending anymore. I'm not working in food service anymore. I'm making my income creatively, and that's what I'm doing. So it feels very cool.
Yeah. So for me, it's not bartending, but I'm not selling insurance anymore. All right.
We love that.
I think it's really interesting. They don't understand the value of making bad art. Okay? And I think that's something you understand. Like we talked about, failure is a part of the process, right? So, how important is making bad art, and why?
Making bad art is the most, I'm serious, it's the most important thing that you can possibly do for yourself and your art career if you choose to have one.
Message.
I say in my classes all the time, I'm like, everybody's an artist. You just need to nurture that part of yourself.
Yeah.
It's a muscle, like anything else, right? So for me, I schedule time in my calendar to make shitty art. Actually, when I started posting my art on Instagram, I was not always today's hippie art.
Yeah.
It started as today's shitty art. But it's because I had opened an Etsy shop, and they wouldn't let me swear on the Etsy shop. So I couldn't make my Etsy store into today's shitty art. So I had to switch it. And then I was like, oh my God, what do I switch it to?
Those damn bureaucrats.
I know, I was so pissed about it. And I was like, but I need the brand to be strong. Like I was like, I don't know, I had like 200 followers or something. And I was like, I just feel like I have such a strong brand already that like delusional. So I was like, okay, hippie, today's hippie art instead of today's shitty art. So that is how today's hippie art came about. It was because of censorship.
But how do you feel about the role of technology in art, and do you use it in your practice?
I feel pretty indifferent about it, to be honest, which I feel like is like almost controversial now. To like, I feel like people are very opinionated about technology. I mean, on one hand, I love it because I love Instagram. It's my digital like gallery. It's everything, right? Like I have all my work on my Instagram. I have my shop online. Like
at Today's Hippie Art.
That's
shameless plug. All right, continue.
Technology does not play much of a role. So like painting, I'm on a whole different vibe. It's a whole different like type of energy, I guess. And my digital stuff is like sticker designs and cartoony things and fun stuff.
So last couple questions and then we'll be done. Top 5 things that you have to have with you while you're working.
Oh, okay. At first I was like, what do you mean? Like mediums?
No.
Okay, top 5 things I need with me.
Deborah?
Big old bottle of water.
Yeah.
Big fan, because I talk a lot.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna include in that category of just like a beverage category is I need a fun beverage of some sort. Like I need to have my beverages going. That's a big thing. So I need
She's already sweet enough.
Love a Coke Zero. Definitely headphones of some sort if I'm home.
Okay. Headphones.
If I'm painting. I just got like real nice like over-the-ear ones so I can tune everything else out. It's awesome.
Okay.
Like I'm always wearing something comfy.
Okay.
I have clothes that I don't mind getting covered in paint because I like to use myself as a towel.
Me too.
I also love like jeans with rips in them because sometimes if I get bored I'll just start like painting on my leg and I like try out tattoo designs, seriously. Yeah. And I also will almost always have some sort of second or third or fourth or fifth project going on at the same time.
Gotta have it.
Was that 5?
I think that was 5. We'll call that 5.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Seems like 5.
Yeah. Creative blocks are, they happen to all of us, right? So, what do you do to get past yours?
Again, don't like to be bored, so I'm gonna be working on 7 things at once. Also, like, movement has been huge for me to just like work through spaces and get through a lot of like mental blocks of any kind, creative or otherwise. So I'm always out like dancing. I'm always shuffle dancing. I'll definitely like go to a festival and like unwind and kind of like let loose and just be free and like flow. Changing my environment is a huge one. So like most of the time if I'm feeling blocked, I need to go be in the sun. Yeah. Like I need to get outside, maybe go in, submerge myself in water or something. Like you just need to change something about your environment and then I feel so much better.
What is or has been the most critical piece of advice that you've gotten over the last couple years of your career that has really kind of helped you blossom into the artist that you are today? You want to know what mine was before, so you can think about it first?
Oh, I have mine.
Okay, cool.
I have mine geared up and ready to go. Just people, I looked at the camera like that because half the people are gonna be like, oh my god, and half the people are gonna be like, ooh. I'm a big Swiftie. And there's this interview with her where, and I don't know what the interview is, but I've seen this clip so many times, and she just says, make stuff. Just don't stop making stuff. Like, whatever you have to do to keep making stuff, do it. Doesn't matter what you make, doesn't matter if it's good, just make stuff.
Just make stuff.
Message!
For me, it was don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Specifically in the world of art, there is not one way to get somewhere.
Yes.
And my way isn't better than your way, and your way isn't better than mine. We're all going to get to that same place if we just keep walking.
Exactly.
Right. All that being said, I want to thank our lovely guest, the most amazing Today's Hippie Art, or M Hippie. And you have anything you want to let the audience know?
Thank you.
Really?
I just want to let you know. Thank you for being here and for talking to me today. This is so nice that you came here. Before we go, I do have something.
Yeah?
I have a little something for you.
Yeah, for me.
Yes, I do. And we've talked about this before. You don't have to act like you don't know what's coming. You know what's coming.
Yes, but I'm just happy to have it.
But thank you for being here, and thank you for, I'm going to take this little sticky note off. Thank you for supporting me and commissioning me for this little piece right here.
Yeah, it's
Funky
amazing.
little astronaut guy.
I love it. He's having a good time.
He's having a good time.
Just
He's
chilling.
vibing in the clouds.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this was awesome. This was one of the rare commissions where it like poured out of me pretty quickly because this one felt me, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, thanks for letting me kind of do my thing there.
Thank you.
Of course.
And as always remember, be bold, be creative, be you. Yeah,
I don't know if you fuck with weed like that.
bro. I've made it. I've eaten it. I've done all kinds. I'm trying to tell you, my name is Hayze, bruh. Ooh, you gonna bless me?
You can take that little name.
Appreciate you, though. Damn. I'm like, now I'm stealing from you? God damn. You just think you did what?
I think I just invented some shit.
Okay. If that's what you want.
Off camera type shit? Like, bro, I think that would be like a hit reel.
The fuck is he talking about?
On today's episode of Ask an Artist, I decided I'd do something a little different. For somebody who is, in a word, different. As many of you know, I live in Miami, the home of the scammers, the world of copies and fakes and, well, for lack of better word, attention seekers. It's all smoke and mirrors here. Well, not too long ago, I happened to meet a young man with true ambition, true grit, and a story to tell. Someone who's not just talking the talk, but really walking the walk. And the crazy thing about it is that, well, I guess I'm so dope, he had to reach out to me. He's literally redefining the way we look and engage with art, all at the tender young age of 23 years old. And as a native of Grand Rapids, Michigan, by way of the 803 in Texas, you know he's really bout that. So today's guest is really taking the bull by the horns, and well, that's no bullshit. He's pushing the limits of style and making the iconic unique. This is a man who just really believes in doing dope shit, and I can vibe with that. So without further ado, I introduce to you a young man that I am proud to call friend. If you don't know him now, you will in the coming years. I humbly present to you my boy, my friend, Andre Salas, otherwise known as Dre Salsa. What I like to do on this podcast is really find out about my art friends, this one being Dre, and we just gonna chop it up, talk a little bit about what it's like being an artist, and you're gonna get a little feeling, a little different, experience for this artist than you may others. Real talk?
Hell yeah.
All right, cool. Tell me about yourself. Why art? Why did you just decide to do that in the first place?
It's actually pretty crazy. I always used to draw and do stuff like that. I used to draw my homework all the damn time. Like,
Sometimes you draw more. You draw more on the page than you actually do the work.
I literally sit in like math class and be drawing all the time. Be drawing on the whole paper. My teacher eventually, she was like, "Man, this kid is not gonna learn. You're just gonna let him sit in the back of the class, do whatever you want. And sit in math class drawing all the damn time."
This is no time to be laughing.
I used to skip and go to my art teacher. Thankfully, shout out to Miss Boda. She's a dope art teacher, and she used to let me skip and go in there and just paint.
I salute you.
So I was always into painting, but when it got to like selling art and making money off of art and actually calling myself an artist, that didn't actually start till probably till I moved out to Miami. And I saw like the whole art wave over here in Wynwood and all that. It was very inspiring seeing like all the artists on the grind and shit. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it.
All right, so creative blocks. Do you ever have those? And if so, how you get past them?
For real, bro.
No?
Mm-mm.
You are blessed.
It's crazy too, because I was literally asking myself this the other day. I was like, do I have creative blocks? I'm like, fuck no. I was like, anywhere I travel to, bro, I leave like 2 or 3 pieces behind, like somewhere.
Imagination.
That's what I'm hearing you talk about right now, right?
Yeah,
like, I feel like it's a drug, man.
Like, stop it. Get some help.
It's like this feeling of, if I don't do it, I don't feel right.
Hell yeah. No, definitely. Like, even when I'm not physically painting, in my head, bro, I'm like already thinking of the next 7, 10 paintings. I have an idea of what I want to make it look like. So it's like, kind of put it together fast as hell.
You know, I think that's crazy because, you know, Van Gogh was known for being like one of the fastest painters he knew. Like, he would say stuff like, I don't know why it has to be laborious to paint, but that's why he would paint these big broad strokes and do it as quickly as possible. Okay. And I know kind of what that feels like because I paint big. I always painted too big for the canvas, and I always knew what I wanted to do. So I would just kind of fall into it. So when I hear you say that this is planned, that makes it more impressive to me. Really. You know what I'm saying? Like, because there's this life in it, in your work. And then it's just like, because you can't make that up. I mean, it's behind us. We're living in it. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy to me.
Message!
So you said that you just decided you wanted to start painting, right? Do you have any mentors, like people who, like, I mean, outside of myself? Sorry, I'm shameless plug. I'm shameless.
What the fuck?
Brian Bailey. He's a artist from DC and stuff. Damn, I don't even know his IG. Fuck, shame on me.
We'll find it. Brian Bailey.
I would have plugged you, homie. He showed me how to do the motherfucking ads.
Okay.
So he put like a certain, like, all the art fucking places, all the top art places in the world. He specifically like shows just them, like, the ads. And that's how I got my sale in Singapore.
Gotcha.
And that's how I got to ship something overseas. So that's fucking dope. Another person with the reels, my homie Manny, he's also like a big influencer and shit. He showed me like the reel game and how like to make it short and like post like 7-minute clip. I'm not 7-second clips and shit like that. And like he showed me just like the influencer side of the IG. So I feel like that's what's been getting my followers up and making my reels do a little bit of numbers and shit. So it's been pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really nice seeing like your hard work pay off. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like, for real, I'm like, art is a competitive sport. No matter what anybody tells you, this shit is competitive. Okay, it's not like I want to do more to make more money than you. I want to do more because I want to do more than you. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
But I love that you're like sharpening you against me, and it makes us better, and that's like the beautiful part of it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that is special, and like I feel like you see that, so thank you.
Message.
Now, over time, how have you evolved in that case as an artist?
Definitely, it's like more planned out. Like I've been saying, cause I used to just do like crazy shit. Like, damn, even I'm comparing myself to Basquiat, like more like child's like stuff like that. But now I'm like actually taking time and like with this one, like actually putting like the little prints, or with this one I make like the Hot Wheels and the other elements in like the little leaves or the grapes or the 25 cents or just stuff like that. I steered away from just doing like the crazy Basquiat stuff. I also like make like a collage kind of. It's like collage, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
No, it's definitely you find a way to introduce multiple styles, and that's what I think that what we do as younger artists, right? Especially early on, we're trying to put as much of ourselves on the page as possible, and at the same time, this is clearly you having evolved, like you've grown into this because there's so much going on here. You have to know.
Okay.
Tell me about what you were like early on when you first started painting. How was that like? What did that look like?
We got a piece right over here.
Okay.
This one is like, it's less detailed, like as in like print, like animal prints or like logos and shit like that. It's more just like fucking.
I get it.
Like,
it's singular images.
Yeah.
So you went from doing
like one style,
one
like
subject to
like,
multiple subjects, and you're using the same tools that you learned from your earlier paintings, right?
Yeah.
So, wow. See now this is beautiful. This is love. I got some of the early shit.
That's that's like a really, really early piece, bro.
That's what's up, man. I love
this. Is when I was doing shit like with the, what the fuck is it called? The spatula, the knife?
Yeah, man.
And the one in the back, that's a little bonus one.
I'm gonna take this up. Oh, I got a bonus?
Yeah.
Oh, you can see it too, right? This original. All right, because I keep thinking of new stuff. You know what I'm saying? And big brain on them. You know what I'm saying? Big brain. This is one of the ones that I said when I first I really started thinking you were really starting to put it together, in my opinion, with this stuff. Yes.
These are early as fuck.
Oh my God.
Like my signature is even different right here too.
You know, that's crazy because that happens all the time. I know I've written my name so many different ways. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. We talked about a bunch of stuff today.
Hell yeah.
I mean, even some really cool behind the scenes stuff. I think that what we need to do is mano a mano, me versus you. You already got me hot in the mud. You know what I'm saying? We need to battle it out. So we gonna get to the challenge.
Let's do this shit.
And today's challenge, we're gonna cut right to it. I'm gonna do my best to out salsa Dre Salsa. You feel me? We're gonna switch sides though.
Oh, yeah. Made a Chanel bag.
A lot used to write my name. Oh shit, fire!
And you can actually use this motherfucker. Let me know if y'all want to buy it.
Real designer.
Real designer.
Do you think you're talented? And do you need talent to be an artist?
I feel like I'm talented. Yeah, I'm talented in many things. I can do a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm. But is your talent specifically the art? Because you just said something that I think is real special. Yeah.
At the same time, I feel like I'm talented at the way I speak with people and like networking.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the bullshit reader, the vibe reader.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm really good with that, especially in the art world. Like I know if somebody generally fucks with me, like it's like just like, oh, okay. But when it's just like splattering paint, it's kind of crazy. Like I feel like that takes no talent. Anybody can do it, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think anybody is an artist, and I think the people that actually are successful at doing that have actually built the brand and gone through a lot of the stuff to be able to get there. You don't just get to throw stuff some stuff on canvas real quick and say, you know what, that's art. I'm a great artist.
Get out!
I was asking you about talent because I feel like the real talent that people who are creatively inclined or like are really doing this thing have is not really talent, it's grit. Okay. And grit is something you have to earn. Okay. And the thing is like, if you really want to do this, you have to love it. And if you love it, then that means you have to do it. We talked about the itch. So when I hear people say talent, the only talent I think is that I want to genuinely get up and do this every single day.
Message.
What was it like growing up in Michigan?
Shit. When I was young, it was pretty dope. Just like every other kid, go outside. I used to be into like that no jumper shit, BMXing and fucking skateboarding, and going to the store and doing shit, you know, just acting like a badass little kid.
Yeah, I get that. I grew up. That's all you really
other
had
shit,
to do.
but I won't say that on camera.
Yeah,
I have my days. You know, Michigan be rough out there, so sometimes it gets a little icky out there.
Yeah. Don't get too excited about it. I'm a slow loser. This man out here dancing? On my heart! On my heart! Tell us what you think for real. Clearly, this isn't what I do. And clearly, the master's in the building. You already see it. This guy right here. Dre Salsa.
They might even have to use the camera.
Show them why they love you then.
I ain't have to do that shit.
Yeah. We're just gonna go ahead and do it right now. Crown the victor. These are the non-sexy moments of pain. Most people would say it's like they're gonna try to connect it to you being Mexican and stuff. And maybe that it has something to do with it. But like, I'm not trying to put you in no box. You know what I'm saying?
Well, lately, I've been trying to like tap into like the Mexican art culture and shit. I want to get into like doing that shit. I want to go to Mexico and do some dope shit over there.
Yeah.
So I want to incorporate more of my culture shit inside my art pieces.
It is nice. It's like a turtle shell.
It's crazy right here.
Especially with your work, it works. With my work, it looks like I didn't do it on purpose. And you did. The water gets deep. Oh, wow. That's much crazier than I thought. The water gets deep. It does. See, he really does plan this out. Clean up, everybody, everywhere. Artists really are generous people. Get you some artist friends. All right, so
That's it. You didn't see me get my ass whooped. You didn't see me ask questions to my man Dre. What else could you ask for?
We done smoked, we done did it all. Y'all saw a little bit of a behind the scenes, how I get to do my stuff and how I tune in with myself. It's time for homie to get up out of here. I gotta roll up another one of these things.
Hey!
All right, so yeah, what you think? Pretty dope, right? Yeah, so we shot the outro, but I forgot to hit you guys with the real message of this episode, and for that, my bad. But really, long story short is, if you want to do stuff, you can really just do dope things, no matter the reason. And that's really what I got from this with Dre today. And if you know me, you know that speaks to my heart. So, until next time, always remember, be bold, be creative, be you. And hit the like button, you know? Doesn't hurt anything, right?